Rita. Sitting over here is Reverend Patrick, and over there our beautiful music directors, Michael and Carrie Fox. Yay. So our little darling, wonderful Michelle LeMay is not here, so I get to tell you what's happening today. Yay. Michelle, if you're watching, we miss you, always. So the first thing you need to know is that right after service, our men's and women's empowerment groups will meet. And today the women are going to have the presence of Reverend Paula Bellagio, who's going to be leading a discussion. Do you know what it's on? No. Okay. Yeah, what does it mean to listen? It'll all be about listening. And the men are meeting at the beach and with Reverend Patrick. And yes, the topic is men can listen. Oh, okay. All right, so they can. The question is, will they? Okay, so anyway, let's. Oh God. All right.
Did you say something, Rita?
Okay. All right. I'm already out of control here. Okay. So, anyway, join us for that. And the other thing you need to know about is beginning this Wednesday, no matter how many people are in it, and right now we have 4 or 5, I believe, that have committed themselves to flying solo, which is an amazing workshop that takes place for 6 weeks, where you get to take a snippet of your life, look at it from a higher perspective, and inspire us all with, and I'm not going to even call it a performance, it's a sharing, and anybody that came to the last one a couple of months ago knows how powerful it was. So we know that the right people are going to show up, and right now we're just going to continue. For a while there, we were just waiting and waiting, going, should we, shouldn't we? Now we realize that we should, because the people that are there are the perfect people. The other thing you need to know about is that this Friday night, we've been given special permission by the producers of The Power of the Heart to screen the film here. So we will be screening it on Friday night at 7 p.m. right here, and we'd love for you to sign up so we know how much popcorn to make. Okay. So, and you can read more about that in the news bulletin, which I had one up here, but now it's gone. Wait, where is it? Here, you can pick one of these up, all right? The other thing we want you to know about is that coming in September, there's 2 things happening. One of them is the Essentials for Greater Living. It's finally a class that everybody can attend. There's 10 weeks. You can come to all of them, or you could come to however many you want. It's based in the teachings of our great founder, Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes, and one of the most wonderful mystics of the 21st century. And lots of wisdom and lots of ways to use this philosophy in your life and make your life a greater living. So that's why it's called the Essentials for Greater Living. And then another thing that's happening, and you can talk to her personally, is Reverend Diane. Will you raise your hand? She will be giving us a workshop called A Taste of Meditation next month. And again, it's on that bulletin. And you can talk to her about what that is. But we're grateful that she is doing that for us. So, yeah. Oh. Anna Myers is not till next week, but she's on the bulletin. That's up in Princeville. There she is. Yes, there she is. Anna Myers, you can tell them all about your discussion group that you have up in Princeville. So look at her. She's got the beautiful orange dress on, and she can talk to you after service. So that is what I have right now. So if you have any other questions, talk to anybody, Patrick, myself, Reverend Diane, board members, Roseanne. Michelle's not here. Just talk to people that you see here all the time. Rob Jones back there. We all know what's going on here. Ron Stover. So, all right. So anyway, thank you for listening to me. And I'd like to take it down now to our time for meditation. I'm going to invite up Rebecca DeRuz. Where is she? There she is. Yeah, and she's in our Practitioner 2 training, but she's actually is a practitioner already, and she's just now reinstating her license over the next year. So,
thank you. Good morning. Yeah. Well, as it usually happens when you ask the good Lord to help you with this, I had something picked out of my magazine. Of course, the paper fell out, and now I can't find it. So I'll go back to what I was going to do before. because I wanted to say something a little bit about meditation. Um, Now that I read the Science of Mind magazine this week, I found out that for me, my meditation is equated with chocolate. Yeah, you have to really know chocolate, they're telling you, you have to taste it. Well, guess what? Meditation is the same way. But for me, this year, it took quite a few tastes. So don't give up on it, believe me, because it tastes wonderful when that presence comes out, when that incredible presence within comes out. Okay, so let's now get comfortable in your chairs. You can have your eyes open or closed. Let's take a deep breath in. Feel that love, that peace, that joy, that allness that is already yours. And now let out all the iniquities of the week, the problems, the worries. Take another deep breath in. Feel that Godness, that love that's already there. And let out all those extra thoughts that we don't need anymore. Take another deep breath in. Feel so peaceful, so joyful, so loving. And let out any of those extra little thoughts. joyful presence that is already with us into this room, into your life, into the rest of this week, as we say together, and so it is.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's just stay in this place of quiet, and let's light our peace candle, and let's sing our peace song of the month, which is a listening song in the silence. We sang it last week, and you guys did very well with it, so let's just sing it again. When Carrie will take us in. Peace starts within.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. As my heart opens up to the voice, I awake to these precious moments when I hear all that could ever be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself.
Let's sing it one more time.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. As my heart opens up to the voice, I awake to these precious moments when I hear all that could ever be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself.
Mahalo. Thank you. You can find that
So it
space
is.
any time at all, no matter how much noise is on the outside. It's right there waiting for you.
Wow.
Okay. So,
I'm still recovering from that meditation. I was like, hello.
that was wonderful. We are so blessed with so
And
many.
that's a good thing.
We are so blessed in the center with so many people of beautiful consciousness that share themselves with us. Thank you so much, Rebecca.
And aloha to all of you.
Yeah.
Aloha.
We want to welcome back Katie and
Patrick.
Patrick.
Love that
because-
name, Patrick.
Yeah. They are actually members of our center who are going to move here very soon, I know. And they're back for a few weeks, so we welcome you back.
And they watch
Yay.
us on that live stream, do you not?
Yay. So say
That's
hi to
great.
them. All right.
Okay.
So here you are. If you're here for the first time, you're in a Center for Spiritual Living. And here we are practicing the science of mind and spirit, which is just an ancient wisdom that just says that God is all there is. God, source, life, love is all there is, manifesting itself through all of creation, through everything. No matter what's happening, there's the presence and the power and the light and the energy and the source there. And so our knowing is to lift ourselves to that highest place, no matter what we're experiencing at all times, just to remember who and what we are. And then as we do that and as we think from that place, we can't change our thoughts, but we can know and we can believe. And that's where that center comes from that spirit, that life that's within each of us. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I know this for a absolute spiritual fact and a fact in form that there are new people here that have never come to this space before and have never celebrated this service. So if you can just raise your hand real quick. There we go. There we go. There we go. Welcome, welcome. And as everyone else in the room knows that we know something about you that we are about to share with the entire world, including live stream, they're all going to find out what's going on too. So shall we let them know? Okay. You are magnificent. Oh. But then they knew that. They knew that. And why do we know that, everyone? Can we ever get tired of being magnificent? I don't think so. But we can remind ourselves continually. So shall we all do it together? I am magnificent. Oh, and maybe we should let, well, Katie and Patrick are here today, so maybe we'll let the rest of the people that are watching, let them know who they are as well. Shall we? Up in live stream world. You are magnificent. Now look to your left, to your right, or anybody that's around you, just let them know too. Have a little communication. You are magnificent. Oh my God, you're magnificent. All righty.
Wow, this is great.
I always know it's dangerous when people start getting out of their seats to go other places. This is
I don't know about dangerous, but
well, it's not dangerous, but it's
it means Patrick's losing control. I'm just full of jokes today.
Oh,
aren't I?
honey, you're just a regular card today.
I'm told I have no sense of humor. Okay.
So you never tell someone that their sense of humor, then they just look at her. You're just beaming with humor today.
It's all about heart today. Okay.
So if you're here for the first time, it's usually always like this. Just there we go.
All right, so I think we're ready for our opening song, Carrie.
All
do it.
right.
Yes, we are. So let's stand up.
Go ahead
Let's
and
that
stand.
wonderful energy.
Shall we rise up?
If you want to.
All right, let's have some fun.
Brady Bunch.
Uh-oh. This is called the bouncy
I'll
song.
go for a walk outside now. The summer sun's calling my name. I hear you now, I just can't stay inside all day. I gotta get out, give me some of those rays. Everybody's smiling, sunshine day. Everybody's laughing, sunshine day. Everybody seems so happy today.
Sing it, Tommy.
It's a sunshine day.
Come on, Patrick.
I think I'll go for a walk outside now. The summer sun knows me by name. He's calling me, he's gotta get out, gotta get out, gotta get away. I gotta get away, get away, get away.
Come on.
Into a sunshine day.
Some dancers over here.
Go ahead, go.
Oh, I guess that's my cue. So I'm never missing a cue. There's no time or space in the mind that maketh all. And we are right here in that one mind, that one love, that one source that is everything. It's right here where we are. It's right here in this service as we commune together, as we pray together, as we laugh together, as we do everything together, sing everything. It's all spirit manifesting itself perfectly. And I know that this day, this life, this one thing is manifesting perfectly, unfolding perfectly, always. And I just say thank you, and so it is.
Here we go.
What a
I
day.
think I'll take a walk every day now. The summer sun show me the way. To be happy now, I just can't stay inside all day. I gotta get out, give me some of those rays. Everybody's smiling, sunshine day. Everybody's laughing, sunshine day. Everybody seems so happy today. It's a sunshine day. Bum, 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 bum,
Come on, Rita.
bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum,
Louise on the drum.
bum, 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 bum. We're gonna fade out like that. Bum, 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 bum,
It's a sunshiny day.
Yeah.
We are the Brady Bunch, aren't we?
Okay, so we're going to pick this up a little.
Oh, yeah. Whoa, and if you're
I'm
hot,
kidding.
I have no idea what happening with the air conditioning, but I do know there's some fans here, so if anybody needs them, just somebody can pass them out. The air conditioner is on full force, but we just have a lot of energy, so. So in that spirit, I am inviting up a special lady in our life. Her name is Reverend Paula Balaja, and she is from Colorado. She's from the Department of Center for Spiritual Living, no department, Living Center for Education and Training. And she'll tell you a little bit more about herself. But she's a special friend of ours, a wonderful reverend, and she blessed us with another ordination last week. We've had 4 now, I think. So she took us out to Mahalapu, and did a beautiful ceremony with us and blessed us with these rings that have a whole story of their own. But I'm grateful for her in my life and grateful that she's visiting, and she visits often. Reverend Paula.
So we're focusing on the art and science of listening to our heart this month, aren't we? Yeah. A Native American proverb tells us, listen to the wind, it talks. Listen to the silence, it speaks. Listen to your heart, it knows. Every time I hear that, I get a little catch in my throat, and I feel the tears just being held because it's that powerful to me. Listening to our hearts is a natural activity, if we allow it to be. You see, I know something about all of you besides your magnificence, and that is that every single one of you has listened to your heart, or you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here in Kauai, and you wouldn't be here today, this morning, if you hadn't listened to your heart. So I'm just going to remind you with a few words here about that art that you have known since before you took your first breath in this life. What I do for a living is listen, right? I am a minister who also, my ministry is actually educating clinical chaplains for hospice, hospitals, prisons, etc. And so I was a hospice chaplain for years, and I listened to people at their bedsides, or wherever they were living. And afterwards, when I became an educator of chaplains, I now listen to the chaplains who are trying their best to process all that happens to them while they're out serving others. And so I listen a lot. Listen. And so every year, because of all this listening I do, I come here for a sabbatical, here to beautiful Kauai. Somebody's got to do it. I'm willing. And when I first came here, I had all these glorious ideas about how glorious my meditation was going to be when I got here. And sometimes it is. And many times it's not. Many times there's a whole lot of chatter going on. And sometimes I do different practices here so that I can get more centered. And one of them is hiking. And I'd go out hiking and think, again, I was going to have this glorious breakthrough. And I'm out there on the trail and I'm thinking about how my feet hurt and how much I'm sweating and all the mosquitoes that are biting me despite my natural repellent. And then I go snorkeling, and instead of focusing on being one with all the fish in the sea, my mask is fogging up. Or I keep getting water inside the mask. Or, I can't seem to get it to keep clearing. Something going on with my gear, right? And then there's other things that I do here. And even though I have this hiking issue, and even though I have this snorkeling issue, guess what? I still hike, and I still snorkel. And sometimes I go out with my friends and we're listening, and if I'm not having a one-on-one conversation, I stop and I hear just this buzz of the whole conversation, and it's the laughter, and it can be a little rattling at moments and other times not. And I also spend much of the time here alone in the silence, and that is the loudest part of my practice here, the loudest. And there are moments, though, when I am doing these things, the hiking and the snorkeling, where suddenly I hear that sound of my breath as I'm breathing in the snorkel. Or suddenly I hear the wind through the trees as I'm hiking. Or there's that deafening silence suddenly in the midst of my meditation. And then I remember why I come here. I don't come here to do all of those things. I come here to listen to my heart, to remember to listen to me and what's going on. Sometimes during the year, I'm listening so much externally, so much to others, that I forget to listen here. And so I come here to remember how to do that. These beautiful islands were created in Hawaii from the fiery volcanoes that erupted. We don't think about that when we look at the lush gardens here on Kauai, but that's where they came from. They came from something that was fiery and raw and powerful, and it became beautiful fodder for all the beauty that we see here on this island and in one another. So it's important to cultivate that. It's important. And as chaplains, we cultivate the power to become aware of ourself, our other, and the relationship. Because if we forget that, we can't listen to another human being. Mahana says, Kauai being the oldest of the islands, visitors often come here to find insight in meditation. And sometimes we find loudness. The third eye chakra is what's associated with the island of Kauai, and it's our ability to find clear intuition and inspiration. When we open, we are able to easily connect our ideas and follow our hearts. I invite you to listen to the wind. It talks. Listen to the silence. It speaks. And most of all, listen to your heart, for it knows. Stay.
Thank you, Reverend Paula. And just on that thing of the ordination, we got these rings, and it was one of those moments where Rita put hers on, and it went off. And then all of a sudden, mine, and I learned something from that. In the old days, I would have went, no, really, it's okay. It's okay, as my finger would be turning blue, right? And I thought, oh no, we'll make it fit. And thank you so much for that beautiful, beautiful ordination. Thank you for your beautiful spirit that you bring here. We absolutely love you. Thank you. Thank you. And speaking of love, yeah, the art of listening. By the way, we love you. You too. We absolutely do. And special music with our beautiful Carrie and Michael Fox.
Thank you, everybody. So a few weeks ago, I think after one service, we were talking with Reverend Rita, and you had brought up a song by Deva Pramal and Mitten. Now, I'm not sure if this is the one you were talking about, but we are doing a song called In the Light of Love. Was that the one? Do you remember? Okay. Okay. But anyways, we thought we would learn that and share that with you all today. So here we go.
Close your eyes if you feel it in your heart. In the light of love, we are whole. In the light of love, we are home. In the light of love. We are home in the light of love. We heal and sing. Thy will be done in the light of love. Om Shri In the light of love, we are whole. In the light of love, we are home. In the light of love, we heal and sing. Thy will be done in the light of love. In the light of love, we are whole. In the light of love, we are home. In the light of love, we heal and sing. Thy will be done in the light of love. In the light of love, we are whole. In the light of love, we are home. In the light of love, we heal and sing. Thy will be done in the light of love.
Wow. Thank you so much for learning that song. It's so beautiful and it's so fitting for today. Yeah. Listen to your heart. Are you listening? Ernest Holmes once wrote, it's I think in the beginning of the Science of Mind text, that the day would come, or he looked forward to the day when science and religion, science and spirit, whatever you want to call it, would walk hand in hand. And I believe that day is now, because all the things that the great mystics have said over the ages, Ernest Holmes being one of them, are now actually being proven by science. So I was looking up about the heart, and did you know your heart is a muscle whose job is to pump blood 100,000 times a day to all the organs of your body? 100,000 times a day. Wow. And now they're knowing that the heart actually controls our brain, that our heart is now called the little brain. Well, I call it the big brain because it knows a lot more than our brain knows. And it can be guided, it says, The heart and the brain can be guided into rhythm with each other by focusing on positive and loving emotions from the heart. Duh. Okay. And that this state of this organ coherence, they call it, of your heart and your brain, is associated with improved higher level functioning, lower blood pressure, and improved immune system function. It's all very scientific, but it makes a lot of sense because in reality, we are heart. That's what we are. And our brain is a great thing, but when we think from our brain, the only way we can really do that is by looking at outside. We're like outside trying to figure everything out when it's our heart that really knows the truth. And then it can tell our brain what to do, and our brain can, intuit through the rest of our body and all of that, and get things to do, things like pumping blood and all that kind of stuff that it does so well. So that's what science says. And now if I look at what different mystics have said, I say, Solomon back in the Bible said, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Keep thy heart with due diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. And then Ernest Holmes wrote, almost all cases of heart trouble can be placed to thoughts of strain and inharmony. Now this was written back in 1926. A remedy for all heart trouble is love. The heart is known as the center of love, which is the healing balm for every inharmonious thought. Your song. My peace is found at the heart of God. And as long as we realize that our heart is a living center through which the love of God flows to bless eternally, not only our own lives, but the lives of all whom we contact, as long as we realize this, our heart can never be troubled. And then Jesus the Christ said, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. And he didn't mean good people. He meant those who think from their heart shall see God. And where is God? In our heart. Where else are we going to see it? Nobody else has seen it anywhere else that I know of, except for in a burning bush maybe. I don't know. So why should I listen to my heart? All I know is throughout my life, every time I've listened to my heart, I've never gone wrong. The times I've listened to my brain and tried to reason things out, I've gotten to where I needed to go eventually, but I did it with a lot of stress, strain, problems, things I had to solve, and everything. When if I had just listened to my heart to begin with, my life would have flowed perfectly. But as the song says, divine will, giving up ourselves to divine will, nothing can ever be really bad because divine will, God's will for us, that spirit within us is always good. So you always get where you're going, but the question is, how are you going to take yourself there? The long train, right? Or are you going to get on a jet and get there very quickly or instantaneously in the matter of what we know about spirit, because there is no time or space. So I can give you examples of when I used my heart, and I'm sure you can give yourself examples, and I can't teach you how to use your heart to think, to live, to feel, but I can tell you how it's worked for me, and then you can check it out for yourself in your own life. So this center wouldn't be here if we hadn't followed our heart. If we had followed all what everybody told us, which plenty of people had plenty to say, we would have sat there trying to figure out how we could make it happen, and as soon as you try to figure out how something's going to happen, you're in your head. You're not in your heart. Give it up to the heart. Moving into this building was from our heart. We knew that spirit had to match it because we had to move, and we knew that in our heart, that this center needed to move. It needed to move into a bigger expression. So here we are. Again, if we had thought about it too much, it never would have happened. We'd still be sitting, we wouldn't be sitting at the Aston Aloha because they kicked our butts out. So I don't know where we'd be sitting. I will tell you that this great man here that I'm married to is because I followed my heart. And it wasn't easy. Now that's the other thing too. No, that came out the wrong way. I came out the wrong way. What I'm saying is, okay. Well, backtrack. Okay, what I mean is, oh God, forget that. Okay, all right. Because you follow your heart doesn't mean that at times you won't have challenges for following your heart. It wasn't like, that even makes it better. Forget about him, just look in the scope of things. Okay, I'm changing the subject. Okay. Anyway, other ways you can intuit your heart is like making a decision, making a decision to have children, not have children, follow your heart. Make a decision to take a trip, not take a trip. Come to Kauai, don't come to Kauai, follow your heart. We had somebody just sign up for the Sacred Journey in, the event that we do every January, who up to that point had been trying to figure out how he was going to make it happen in the world of form. And then finally he just looked at it and he said, you know what, I'm just going to come. And as soon as he said that, the universe came in and is backing him right now. And he's here already, and he has everything he needs to be here. So you can call it gut, you can call it intuition, you can call it whatever it is, but your heart knows exactly what it's supposed to be doing in this very, very moment. And I've had a lot of experiences this week of praying with people, doing spiritual mind treatment with people who are trying to figure out why they're having what's happening to them. That is your brain trying to figure it out. Forget about figuring out why it's happening. Just go to your heart. Because when you're in the world of trying to figure out why this is happening, you're in the past. The only place that this happens is in the present. The only way this law can work through us, this love can work through us, is in the present. So just go to the heart. And you might ask how, but you know. So I don't even have to tell you how. We've said it a million times today. It is so peaceful and loving being in your heart. And everybody might not agree with you. They might not agree with your decisions or whatever, but that doesn't matter. Your heart knows. And as long as you hurt no man, no woman, you can have whatever it is you desire. It's a law of liberty, not a law of license. Yeah, you can ask me about that later. And hurt, when I say hurt, is that you're purposely destructing another person. Sometimes you do hurt people along the path when you follow your heart. It happens, right? Because stories change and people change and you change and they don't, and that happens sometimes. So that's not the kind of hurt I'm talking about. So, what did my heart tell me this week? It told me something about my little cat, Kama, who hasn't come home yet. But I do believe that she's still coming home. My heart's telling me she is. And until I know something different, I said to myself, what do I choose to believe? Do I choose to believe? I have a choice. I could believe she's not coming home, and I could look at all the world of facts that might say to me, but in reality, I have no clue what's going on in the world of the unseen and in her world. So all I choose to believe is that she is coming home. And yesterday we did a spiritual mind treatment on the lanai, and Kalani, who had been missing for 3 days, as soon as I said, and so it is, I heard, meow, meow. And she was right there. So I have no idea where Kama is, but I do know she's in the heart of God, and I believe she's coming home, and that's what my heart told me today. So I make 2 lists, what's mine to do and what's the universe's job. Mine to do is all the things I can do in the world of form. I can put up signs, I can do, ask people, I can, put it on Facebook. Those are the things I can do. But then I have to turn it over to the divine will, to the universe, to let it do what it can do that is way beyond what I could ever do. So if there's something in your life, look at what you can do and then turn it over. Turn it over. So I read this on Oprah Winfrey, and I'm just going to close with it. Oprah Winfrey's, there was an article on one of her sites. While the mind is the content of who you are, the content of who you are, your heart is your essence. Your true heart is not subject to chaos or limited by pain, fear, and neuroses, but is joyful, creative, and loving. Some believe the heart can be too uncertain and even misguided, but that's their heads talking. I love that. It is actually a source of great richness, and this wealth is one that cannot be squandered or lost. It is the core, the essence of your being, a reservoir of joy, powerful love, and infinite compassion that lies within you. Listen to your heart. Namaste. I would like to now introduce
Your
beautiful
challenge.
man of my heart. You are. I'm not going there. Goodbye. Have fun.
Goodbye.
I did not say that. Just because you took it that way.
That's all in the
Yeah.
past now. All we know at the end of the day is that I was the best thing that ever happened for our Reverend Rita. And she was the best thing that ever
That
happened
is the
to
truth.
me. Oh, what a week. Now, this isn't a question I want answered out loud. I'm just going to preface this with that because I know our group here. So if your heart could speak, and we know that it can, take a moment, just a moment, and close your eyes for me and listen to what it would say, what it is saying. Yeah. All righty. So what I know about listening to your heart, especially this week, is that it has a language that I'm still learning. It doesn't have I would like it to have more of that voice from within that would, what do I need? What do you want to say to me? And Patrick, I have something very important for you. It doesn't speak quite like that. And if it did, I'd be scary because the voice would be like, whoa. Okay. But I was thinking of an example to share with you when I listened to my heart. And what's interesting is yesterday, and we're very authentic here, very open. I was working on my talk a little bit on Saturday, and I was like, I'm not really in the mood. My heart, that heart, and I was equating it to I need to be all lovey, like feeling like I was glowing all over in order to write the talk. And that's not what your heart is always saying. Your heart is always love. But I was thinking about 38 years ago, I'm going to take you on a little trip back with Patrick, a young man at 24. I know. That's why I cut my hair, so I could do this talk. So 24 years old, I was about to have, on August 15th, a dynasty wedding. Long, the big white thing that goes down the hall, and the priest waiting at the end. It was a Catholic thing going on then. And that was on August 15th. And my heart told me, don't do it. And it wasn't really loud. It was all in emotions and all about feelings. And it kept nudging at me, say, don't do it. And as a 24-year-old, and knowing everything that had been put into the wedding, and the tuxes and the gifts and the plane people had bought the tickets to come to our wedding, I was going, oh no, make this go away. Then I realized it's just cold feet. That's what the world of the outside told me. You're just having cold feet. It happens to a lot of people. Because I thought I didn't want to marry her. Woo! Was that a relief? I can get past that. Oh, no cold feet. Until it kept saying, psst, Patrick, you can't do it. And I was just the kind of man I am today where I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Now, I don't know if you've ever left anyone at the altar, but that's a real hurt your feelings kind of day. And I was very upset. And so then on July 8th, it's terrible to remember all these memories of the actual days at 4 p.m. No. And July 8th, I went to my mother. Oh, here, we have to bring her back in. 38 years ago, my mom, I said, Mom, what would you do? I feel like I can't marry her. She said, I would go through with it anyway. And in that moment, I knew I was about to change lineage. I was about to step away from what has always been in my life. And I was going to step into a very painful moment to tell somebody that I couldn't marry you. And the emotions don't come from I wish I had, because I know that is very far from the truth. I did exactly what I needed to do for everyone concerned. I followed my heart, but I thought my heart was supposed to be joyous and it would be adventurous, right? When it calls upon you. But sometimes you have to listen to your heart, and it tells you to do something that hurts other people. Sometimes your heart tells you things that is not going to fit in the world of form. So I called her from another state. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I practiced. I did everything in this moment of the unseen. And I said I couldn't. And she said to me, can you at least go through with it, and then we'll work this out later? I was having a message so strong through my lineage, through my growing up, where everybody put themselves into another category, not to go forward. And I said no. And I went through all of the things, and I dropped about 40 pounds, and I was quite destructive to myself out of what? Absolute guilt. And that was a mistake. And I remember my heart was telling me again, you did something good here. It didn't feel very good. Her parents later on loved me for it, but weren't exactly thrilled with me. And you have to get on the phone. You have to do a whole bunch of stuff when you call it off that close. And I did it, and it was painful. But the great thing about it was at 24 years old, there was an unseen power that was aiding me and working with me. And I remember the day that I picked, she called again to remind me of how awful I really was. And then her friends called me and told me how awful she was, and then relatives all called, but I wasn't feeling any guilt about any of that. But that moment was another defining moment. I said, enough is enough. No more guilt. And there was a sense that I have never felt, and I don't even know if I felt it since, like a champagne bottle popping. I only have one thing to say. Why do you guys not do this when Rita is up here? That's all I'm going to say to you. So here's the deal. I let go of guilt that day, and I knew that I was free. And I understood from that moment on what following your heart is. And I always wanted to be a bit more dramatic in a good way, that it's going something that, I'm following my heart, bliss, and that was not that. But I shared that with you not because I have any regrets, because I don't. It's totally was fine, except for that time. I saw the movie this week, Pete's Dragon, and it made me think not of my ex-fiance from 38 years ago, but it made me think of working with the unseen. And we say as a practitioner, they say, well, what about your judgments? What about the way you feel you're sitting across from somebody? What if you don't agree with what if you have an opinion about that? As a practitioner, I don't have an opinion because I don't work in the world of form. Bottom line. I work in the unseen. A place that I don't live a lot, always, but that's where I do my work. Because I've learned that doing my work in the world of form can be very troublesome. So when I'm sitting across from someone, or I'm looking in the mirror at myself, and I'm looking for heart's desire, that guide, I can do all my work, because can you imagine? We're in a sea of the unseen, and that's where everything, all substance takes place. It's where all manifestation is done. And that's where you need me to be when I'm working with you. Trust me. And it's not hocus pocus. It's not, I love what Robert Redford said in this movie, Pete's Dragon. He said, just because you can't see it, meaning that dragon, doesn't mean it's not there. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. When you follow your heart, you usually have to do a lot of work in the unseen. Ernest Holmes says this. He puts on his glasses with flair, thank you. Life is infinite energy coupled with limitless creative imagination. That's what lives in the unseen, by the way, that creative imagination. It is the invisible essence and substance of every visible form. Every one that I am looking at right now, right here, did not become what it is from form to form. It came out of that wonderful substance, that essence called good, called God, it doesn't matter. Our highest satisfaction comes from a conscious union with the invisible life. All human endeavors are an attempt to get back to first principle. We are trying to get back to first cause that we already are. To find such an inward wholeness that all sense of fear, doubt, and uncertainty vanishes. The logic of spirit is in the intellect, but the spirit lives in the heart. Wow. So I'm glad I brought up that time in my life when I remembered to listen to my heart. But there's something else that happens when you listen to your heart. You need to take action. No, you don't have to push. You don't have to make it happen. But you do have to take action. If I had listened to my heart that said, young man of 24, this isn't right for you. Not because I say it, but because you feel it. I felt it. I knew it was wrong. My heart said, no. And I know many of people, obviously my mom, who would have said yes, even after hearing no. I invite us all today to listen authentically to what our heart is truly telling us. And know that you have a universal backing that is so filled with heart, so filled with love, that you can do and be anything. I once again love you. Our hearts are our best ally. Let's not forget it. And guess what? Even when you do, it will never, ever, ever forget you. Namaste. Ooh. Yeah. Here we are. Oh, I'm in front of you. All right, so this is our wonderful time of affirmative giving. Yes, let's just breathe into that. And we have a wonderful affirmative, well, it's not new anymore, but we've been using it. And the only thing I would like to change about this at the last minute is the first line of this affirmation is, I like money. I would like to change that to, I love money, since we are coming directly from the heart. Liking is beautiful. Love it. Love the consciousness. Love it, love it, love it. Not because of what? Not because of what it is, but where it circulates. That's what it's about. So, thank you in advance. Shall we say it together? I love money. I believe that it is God's activity and that it is good. I use it with wisdom. I release it with joy. I send it forth without fear, for I know that under a divine law it comes back to me, increased and multiplied.
And it does. And so it is. Beautiful original song.
Grateful for life, grateful for love, grateful to all within and above. Here in our hearts we can be eternally free. Grateful for life, grateful for love, grateful to all within and above. Here in our hearts we can be eternally free. Giving from a place of purity, honoring our spirit and integrity. Here in this place, creating a world that works for everyone.
So what I know right here and right now is I sit in gratitude. I sit in gratitude for everyone here and for all the consciousness that's in these baskets right here and right now, that consciousness of love and giving for the center, knowing that it does go forth to be multiplied for the center, for the world, and for each and every person. Each and every person, it comes back multiplied. I know that. So I am so grateful, and I release this word. I release it in gratitude to law, knowing it is done, as we say, and so it is.
Grateful for life, grateful for love, grateful to all within and above. Here in our hearts we can be eternally free. Grateful for life, grateful for love, grateful to all within and above. Here in our hearts we can be eternally free.
So it is.
So it is.
So if anything has come up for you today, we have a little box there called the Yes Box, where you can put your request for what you want to experience in your life, and we will know the truth for you for whatever that is, knowing that it is manifest right here and right now. That is the power of our word. That is the power of spiritual mind treatment, and we gratefully accept it all as done right now. So the box is sitting there right under the palm tree. All right.
You know, it's very funny when you said yes box, it sounded like one of those video games, and we have the yes box over there, and I thought, wow. We say yes because the minute that it hits in there, there's nothing more to do. It's already said yes. But I did notice, I want to thank Ryan over here. He was dropping something in here while I was up there, and I just wanted to remind everybody that this big old bank right here is our building fund. And so we're just having fun with it. We're just dropping things in it as we go along. Our change, we want to be the, what is it? The change, what is it, Sue? The change you want to see. Yeah. Get it? The change. Okay, so let's close the song. Let's go. We'll close with that.
Right. It's all good.
It's all great. So anyway.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Let's stand for our closing song.
Just for all you new folks, this is the Hawaii State song. So we honor it with respect of the Aina and for all of the elders and people that live here. Aloha.
E Hawaii e kuone hanawe, kuhome kulaivine, oli noa wina pono lani o. E Hawaii
so what I know right here in this wonderful, wonderful, delicious, loving moment is a gratitude is running through me and as me, and I know it through each and every one of us that is in this wondrous place of love. I give such gratitude to Harry and Sue, who greeted so lovingly at the door to all of us who entered this sacred space. And for Rita, who stepped in for Michelle and just said, I'll announce this. And our beautiful Rebecca, with that beautiful meditation, the hospitality of Ron Stover, and our beautiful, beautiful In the Light with Reverend Paula, who is such a gift to us, not only for this month, but for always. And I just give absolute gratitude to Rob Jones, who absolutely allows right here and right now for others to really just feel what is going on here on this beautiful, beautiful island. And you can tune in at any time and make that so. And Roseanne Jones, who just does so many things and provides those programs weekly. And all of the people that do the setup and the cleanup. And that beautiful music that we're listening to right now with Carrie and Michael and Sue and Luis. Mahalo, mahalo. And to each and every one of us in this room that has dared and has been brave enough and courageous enough to allow heart to speak. Yes, the heart of listening is what we are all about. So knowing that, I just allow that to be, knowing that we are cradled, we are lullabied in the very heart of life itself, right here and right now, with gratitude spilling over and over endlessly from that limited space. I just say mahalo, 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 as together we say, as one. And so it is.
Very nice. Yes. Have a good week here.